Good morning. My name is Gregory Wilson, Gregory Wilson. I am marching to Springfield because I live with HIV, mental health issues, and I have been homeless. Publicly funded human services keep me alive. We need our elected officials to be accountable to the people and pass a budget that puts people and planet first so that we can fully invest in human services.
You got that right.
All right now. Here we go. I have lived with housing instabilities since the 1980s. I have benefited and found stability because of the help and services I received from the funded medical and housing agencies. One reason I want to march to Springfield is to break down the stigma that is attached to people with illness, including mental health issues, HIV, and cancer, and explain why these services are critical. I am also marching because of the need for the homeless prevention services. My health does not allow me to work anymore, so I have to rely on services from Northside Housing, Heartland, and now Chicago House to assist me in finding stable homes on a fixed income.
You're wonderful.
We need a people and a planet first budget so that the state has the resources we need to fully fund mental health services, homelessness prevention, and affordable housing. No one should have to go through what I went through. That's why I'm participating in the March to Springfield.
I'm walking with you. I'm walking with you.
Good morning. My name is Cindy Bush, CINDYBUSH. I am marching the 200 miles from Chicago to Springfield because I want our elected officials to pass our People and Planet First budget. Our budget proposal will put the people of Illinois back to work, doing the important work that will help all of our families and communities thrive. All working people in Illinois are affected by this budget crisis.
That's right. That's right.
Some people have lost services like child care and help with disabled family members.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Tens of thousands of people have lost income due to furlough days. And some people have lost their jobs.
It ain't right.
My husband works as a data analyst at a university under contract with the Illinois Department of Family and Children's Services. The work he does, supporting services for children who have suffered trauma, is extremely important. And we need his job to support our family. After working full-time for over 50 years, I retired from full-time work a couple of years ago. When the budget crisis first started, everybody in my husband's department was told that they would be fired in 2 days.
Right.
We had feared that this was coming, but it was still a shock. Ultimately, my husband was not fired because it turns out that the work he does is required under a federal court order, and Illinois has to pay for it. But every day we wonder how long that will continue. And the stress is very difficult. Illinois still lags behind most of the states in the country in recovery from the Great Recession. Every community in Illinois needs jobs. Our People and Planet First budget would create hundreds of thousands of good jobs. Jobs educating the next generation. Jobs providing health care to people. Jobs building a green energy infrastructure. Jobs repairing our crumbling roads and crumbling bridges. And jobs providing universal health care for everybody in Illinois. We are sick and tired of the politicians in Springfield blaming each other.
That's right.
You got that right.
We are sick and tired of hearing about grand bargains that are about the working people in Illinois paying more and receiving less. And we are sick and tired of Springfield refusing to have corporations and millionaires pay their fair share.
That's right.
Yeah.
I am marching to Springfield
Yes.
to tell our elected officials that we need a people and planet first budget to create jobs now.
I am with you. I am with you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. Alfred Klinger, ALFRED, KLINGER. Illinois is a wealthy state.
Yes, it is.
But Illinois is not using its wealth to assist vulnerable people. These people are being held hostage by corporations, millionaires, billionaires, stock and commodity exchanges, which are freeloaders.
Yes, that's right.
These spongers are not paying their fair share.
That's right.
My name is Dr. Alfred David Klinger. I was a wounded infantry rifleman in World War II. And even though I am 91, I crossed the Rhine River with the 1st American Division across on the last bridge standing at Remagen on a starless night. I was a child of 18, homesick and scared with a bullet in my neck. At my feet were 2 dead machine gun-ridden buddies with whom I had been playing poker an hour before. I am walking with these 2 buddies the 200 miles to Springfield. I'm marching to Springfield for a people and planet first budget. When I was young, rich people and corporations paid their fair share of taxes, and our government used that money to invest in people. The GI Bill of Rights paid for me to attend medical school, and in return, I served my community for 45 years. My family was poor, and without the GI Bill, there is no way I would have become a physician. Millionaires and billionaires pay the same income rate as retirees receiving Social Security.
That ain't
That's not right. Our people and planet first budget would raise $23 billion in revenue by closing corporate tax loopholes, requiring big banks and corporations trading on LaSalle Street a minuscule tax, sales tax, and insist the rich pay a higher income tax than working class people. Springfield priorities are highly questionable. They would rather cut meals on wheels, taking food away from shut-in senior citizens,
That ain't right.
than make their big money donors pay their fair share. My medical practice made clear that short-sighted legislative policies maimed and killed people much more than germs, viruses, and fungi. We must win a people and planet first budget so that young people can live in hope and have the same opportunities and support I had. Then their futures will be creative and bright, and those older can live in dignity and security. Thank you.
Go ahead. Yes, yes, yes.
Good morning. My name is Agla Marlinowskaite. Agla is spelled E-G-L-E. Marlinowskaite is spelled M-A-L-I-N-A-U-S-K-A-I-T-E. And I am marching to Springfield for the people in Planet First budget because we, the residents of Illinois, for the past 2 years have been facing a public health crisis. Essential public services and programs meeting our basic needs are being dismantled, while widespread anxiety and insecurity have already left lasting consequences.
That's right.
But we, the people of Illinois, are the people we've been waiting for to save us from this crisis. By standing up together, we can win the budget and the future that we deserve.
Absolutely.
Hello, my name is John Poe, John, J-O-H-N, Poe, P-O-W-E, and I am proudly marching to Springfield for the people and Planet First budget because I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago in the Roseland community, which is a community suffering from gun violence, unemployment, poverty, and disinvestment. These are problems that we can solve if we pass a responsible budget that invests in the people of Illinois.
You're right,
That's
John. You're right.
And I, for one, have the strong hope that Illinois can have a bright future and that all of our communities can be wonderful places to live, work, and raise families.
That's right.
You got it right, John.
Hello, my name is Joe Padilla, spelled J-O-E-P-A-D-I-L-L-A, and I'm marching to Springfield for the people and Planet First budget because I plan to become a public school teacher next year, just like my mother before me. When I was in middle school, the recession hit and our school's music program, like so many others, was cut, and many of these programs have never returned.
Oh,
The
that's
arts
terrible.
are an outlet for millions of students to express themselves, and it is no overestimation that music and painting and dance and poetry save lives just like mine.
Absolutely.
Schools should not have to live on a skinny budget because of the greed of corporations and billionaires.
That's right.
You got that right, Joe.
We are marching to Springfield to unite the people of Illinois, urban, suburban, rural, white, black, Latinx, documented and undocumented, around a hopeful vision for the state. Politicians seek to divide us, make us fight for scraps, and demonize undocumented immigrants like me as the enemy. And that ain't right. But the real enemies are corporations and the rich refusing to pay their fair share.
That's right.
That's right. When we require them to pay, there will be enough money to fully fund education. Single-payer healthcare will be reality, and social services and infrastructure will be available for every resident in Illinois.
You got it right.
I know communities all over Illinois are struggling, and I want to build bridges with people downstate who need the same things as we need in my community of Roseland. Good jobs, quality public education, health care, green energy, and a clean environment. As we march, we'll be meeting with people all along the route, listening to their hopes for the future, for their families and their communities. We'll be sharing our vision for Illinois and asking them to join us and march with us. We will be having listening tours scheduled all along the route, and I encourage you all to visit www.marchtospringfield.org to find one.
All right.
Agla, John, and I are marching for our generation and for the next one. We are marching to raise awareness about two important bills in Springfield. HB 4004 that would close nearly $1 billion in corporate tax loopholes, and SB 1970 that would put a tiny sales tax on the trades made by big banks and corporations that trade commodities on LaSalle Street.
Good man, Joe.
We are marching to tell the people of Illinois that a better future is possible for all of us.
You bet. You bet.
Hi, my name is Erica Nanton, E-R-I-C-A-N-A-N-T-O-N. And I am marching to Springfield for a People and Planet First budget because I live on the south side of Chicago and I have seen what the divestment, the poverty, and the lack of hope has done to my community. And I have also lost a family member to gun violence. And I am here today to declare that it does not have to be that way.
Come on, Erica.
Young people in my community don't have to be dying. They should have fully funded schools, fully funded after-school programs and art programs. Kids should be able to come home or to be at after school practicing an instrument that they love. Because we have fully funded music programs instead of picking up a gun because they have no hope. I'm marching to Springfield because all of these things are possible for all of our communities.
You got that right.
Illinois is not broke.
It is not.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Illinois is not broke.
Illinois is not broke.
We simply must have the will as a state to tax the richest people and corporations their fair share. For too long, our elected officials have tried to make us choose sides. Democrat, Republican, Ronner versus Madigan, a billionaire versus another billionaire. But guess what? Instead, Springfield, we are coming today to say, which side are you on?
Tell them.
Are you on the people's side? Or are you on the side of the richest corporations and the 1% who refuse to pay their fair share? Springfield, it is time for you to put the people of Illinois before your tax-dodging, big money campaign donors. If the richest people and the richest corporations in this state pay their fair share, they will not die. But the working people and the vulnerable will. Our lives are on the line.
That's right.
And we demand right now that you put people and planet first. And that is why we are marching to Springfield.
That's
You
right.
are beautiful.
Good morning. My name is Samantha Nichols. Samantha is spelled S-A-M-A-N-T-H-A, and Nichols is spelled N-I-C-H-O-L-S. And I am marching to Springfield for a People and Planet First budget because I believe in a God of abundance. And this God calls me to love, connect with, and seek justice with my neighbors. And to me, that looks like building relationships with folks all across the state so that together we can call upon our elected officials to make the super rich and major corporations pay their fair share so that we can fully fund essential services like healthcare and education. And you can learn more about how you can get involved in this March to Springfield for a People and Planet First budget by checking out our website, marchtospringfield.org. And there are many ways that you can get involved. You can join us at the kickoff event on May 15th at 12 p.m. right here at the Thompson Center.
You go.
You can make a financial contribution, or you could donate some of the items that we need, including Band-Aids and sleeping bags. And so I invite all the people across this state of Illinois to join us on the March to Springfield for a People and Planet First budget.
You go, Samantha. You go.
And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that y'all might have for us.
Can you explain a little bit more about the logistics of the march? Like, how is the 15 days going to work? Are you guys going to rest in a specific room, in a place? How's that going to work?
Can you repeat the question?
So the way this march is going to work is we're going to have about 20 to 25 folks marching the entire way, all the way from Chicago to Springfield, with hundreds more joining us for different parts of the march. And as we go from community to community, we'll be relying on the hospitality of folks in these communities. We've been reaching out to a broad range of faith communities, for example, who will be providing us with sanctuaries and other spaces where we can sleep each night, where we can find meals, and also where we can build fellowship with people from across the state. On 5 different nights of the march, we'll be hosting listening events where we'll be able to really build relationships with people from all across the state and hear their stories of how they have been adversely affected by the budget crisis, and then explore together a vision for a better Illinois with a budget that puts people and planet first.
Yes.
Are there any other questions? All right, then thank you so much for being here. And again, I invite everyone to join us on the March to Springfield for a People and Planet First budget.
15.